Hello dears, hola, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. We are on the gorgeous beach of Albir between Altea and Benidorm's town. And we're here to discuss as usual all the latest news update. It's quite windy, it's cloudy, but you'll be shocked with what the weather is like today and what are the temperatures. Kind of looks like we're about to have a tropical storm, which I sincerely hope is not going to be the case because we have literally nowhere to shelter ourselves. First news I will be talking about today is the situation in tourism. What is happening with a few parks in Benidorm, why they are closing down, what is the aim of Benidorm for this season 2024. The second news will be about the very unfortunate series of events that are happening right next to Benidorm due to the extreme lack of rain. And the last news will be about illegal touristic apartments that are being watched really close since the end of last year, and why it's important to do things right. If, for example, you're thinking of having a touristic apartment here in Benidorm for a short-term rent. But let's start with the first news first, shall we? It's about the situation in tourism. As you all know, we've had a slightly quieter, calmer week where there were still tourists here in the area, but it wasn't as maxified as it previously was during Christmas, New Year, and Three Kings holidays and celebrations. But right now, two of the main parks will be closed since today, Monday already, which is El Moralet and Park of Folletes. Why they will be closed? Because Benidorm is almost starting the World's Championship for cyclocross. This is a very important event and Benidorm is hosting it. There's a lot of people who arrived here. We see a lot of cycling groups, professional groups, obviously, everywhere around Benidorm town training and preparing for this incredible event, which is why these two parks are closed. Almost immediately after the celebration will be over, the fans of Eurovision will start to come to Benidorm because that's where we'll have the Eurovision pre-selection contest, Benidorm Fest 2024. Last year and pre-last year, we filmed it, the first ever Benidorm Fest. We even went inside and we filmed it for you guys. And this was an interesting experience and something unusual. Be the part of the first ever Eurovision pre-selection in Benidorm. Be a part of history. We did make it. And since then, it's been growing and growing. Since then, we had special prices for tapas, special prices for drinks in a lot of bars and restaurants. There were concerts and pre-concert before the Eurovision. There's a lot of different events happening in Benidorm. And this year, Benidorm uses social media to promote it even more and make it even a longer celebration. So let's see what's going to be the case. But this new year, 2024, is also bringing a lot of other aims and new ideas that Benidorm has to promote it even more. What Benidorm wants to do is to obviously attract way more international tourists. You all know about the British market. We've spoken in the previous news update that Benidorm also wants to attract more people from Scandinavia, from northern countries, even from Germany, for example, from Netherlands, from Norway, from maybe even Switzerland or any other country that has slightly cooler weather, and they want to attract more tourism in winter. Benidorm's town hall also revealed that the average spending, not surprised by the way, the average spending during the holidays is slightly lower, and the amount of days, the average nights of stay are also less than it previously was, obviously, because hotels are getting more and more expensive. But it's not Benidorm's fault as it is, to be honest. It's happening everywhere. We've checked in Mallorca last year. We've booked 4 days holidays for 300 euros in an incredible hotel. This was an offer, but still, this year, the same offer is giving you double of price for the same type of accommodation, same type half board, same hotel, same room, same everything, same amount of people, which is insane. Double of a price, even with a special offer. So, yep, it's getting expensive everywhere. It's getting slightly expensive. So I'm not sure how Benidorm is planning to increase the average amount of nights spent, because that's something that does not depend on them as it is. That depends on a lot of the families that are coming here. That depends on families' budget, and if the spending overall, the life spending that they use on day-to-day life, groceries, insurance, etc., car, fuel, maybe even rent or mortgage, if that increases, obviously families will be left with slightly less amount of money to spend on their holidays. So it's absolutely normal and logical thing to happen. But somehow uh, they want to increase it. Let's see what Benidorm will come up with this year. Maybe they'll grab some nice offers for hotels, last minute holidays, which will actually be a great idea. Apart from that, Benidorm is traveling to Finland, to Birmingham, for runners, because we know we have Benidorm have a lot of different projects and events happening here for all the sport lovers, to Dublin and a lot of other countries and cities worldwide. So Benidorm is getting really famous lately. We'll see what this year will bring us eventually. The second news that I wanted to share with you all is about the lack of rain in all our Mediterranean region, and what it actually brought us into. There were a series of unfortunate events that no one of us expected to be happening. For so far, what we know is that it's not something that's done on purpose, which is already a good thing to know. Okay, if you remember previous news updates, we did let you know about the big and very serious fire that we had in Altea a couple of days ago, which was something that no one got injured, luckily to us, but cars were destroyed, a lot of forest, a lot of natural part of it was actually destroyed. We have some friends that we know that live here that basically had their cars surrounded by fire. They say it was a nightmare. It's like the end of the world being surrounded with it. And they went bare feet with their pajamas, even half naked, into their car, grabbed anything they could, like grabbed children, relatives, family members, cats, dogs, and that's it. Not even paperwork, not even anything at all. They went with what they've had. It was insane situation that a lot of us even get chills when we think about it back. And we thought it was a singular event, hopefully and luckily, but it wasn't the case. Yesterday, this night, so right before midnight from last day to today's day, there was another fire, which was very close to the famous touristic Guadalest village, this gorgeous village right here. And it happened in Confrides. Even the road was closed for quite some hours. Luckily, there was not a lot of traffic there. No one got injured. There was no harm, no injuries, no nothing. No one was affected. But since everything is so dry, it's just a matter of seconds when the fire just bursts into flames and spreads literally everywhere. So only by 8 o'clock in the morning, the authorities here in the region, they did say they were able to control it. So luckily Confrides and all that area did not get affected as much with it. Obviously the shock and the fear of losing their houses, of losing something, their home, their forever home sometimes, their belongings, is what people had. But luckily that's it. Only the fire, only the part of the nature got damaged, the trees and the land, but no personal damages were actually taking place. And this brings us to an interesting question. This is something unusual for our region. We do not tend to have fires in winter time. In summer, maybe once a year, there's something small, but due to garbage and like people littering in the mountain, in the natural parks. But this is something different. And we are waiting for summer slightly with fear, I must say, because if it's not going to be raining here up until then, everything will be so dry that first hot temperatures will bring us a lot of fires. Let's hope we are wrong about it. And let's hope it's still going to be raining this spring and right before summer season. We need it. But somehow this is the only thing we got these last several months. The last news that I wanted to share with you all is about illegal touristic apartments in all Valencian community, not only here in Benidorm town. And all these apartments are being looked like this because Valencian community is trying its best to eradicate these apartments and trying their best to find which ones are illegal and don't have corresponding license. These inspections were growing as mushrooms in 2023, and they are expected to continue to do so all this year, 2024. For when? Hopefully, the number of these apartments will potentially decrease. Touristic rental is one of the options to get some extra money from the house or the apartment that you have here in the region that you're not using the whole year around. Especially on the hotter temperatures, the busiest months, July and August, not a lot of people can tolerate this heat any longer, and they prefer to stay back in their country and spend the winter here instead. And why not? They are renting their apartment, short-term vacational rentals for days, maybe weeks time or a couple of months maximum, to get some extra income to cover the mortgage. What happens is that not a lot of people use the touristic license, which is obligatory by law. If you want to rent it short term, you need to have a tourism license, which not a lot of people actually have. When you rent out your apartment, for all those who are planning to do so, you need to ask it in the town hall, the specific approval and the specific number of license. They even give you a specific plate that you can have that you put right on the entrance to the door so that people would know that it's a legal apartment. With all this being said, only if you have this touristic license number, you're able to rent this apartment out on the most popular websites like booking.com, Airbnb, etc. If you don't have it, you won't be able to rent it there. Even so, a lot of people do it in international websites, for example, websites that only Norwegians or only Germans, only people from Netherlands actually look for, or some specific other countries, or they let it to do it to the real estate agents, even without the touristic license. So our region is going onto it, and it's quite understandable. A lot of accommodations, a lot of apartment buildings that do have several neighbors in them, several apartments, or even houses. They're called urbanizaciones here. They don't like the fact that there's been illegal touristic apartments inside, because that's a lot of noise. That's something that cannot be controlled as much. And a lot of the times it's quite problematic and unbearable for all those who live permanently in these areas and in these apartment buildings. So it's very important to have this license if you want to make the things right for your investment property, or simply for your property if you are renting it out for a short amount of days or weeks here in Spain. Do things right, because doing things the other way eventually will get you into trouble, which is what's happening right now with a lot of the owners and property owners here in our Valencian community region. And now let's have a short walk by the beach, and I'll let you know what the weather is looking like, because it's absolutely insane what's happened yesterday at night and happening right now, because temperatures are not normal at all. This is what the weather is looking like today, but don't get fooled with these big chunky clouds that almost look like cotton, don't they? They look really, really fluffy. That's an interesting comparison, so don't get fooled by these clouds. This is something that's been happening since yesterday, and I must tell you that these are not rain clouds. Maybe at some points in Spain it will be raining, but here it probably will not be the case anytime soon. The good thing is that only a couple of days for now will be like this, and starting from then, the sun will start coming out as it usually does. These clouds uh, should be giving us colder weather, right? Because why not? The sun isn't shining, it should be cold here in the region. But we couldn't be more wrong. Actually, it's all the other way around. They bring some kind of warm air mass, and even yesterday at night, when it was 9:30, 10 p.m., we had 20 degrees outside. Zero wind, plus 20 degrees. That was absolutely crazy weather. And right now it's plus 19 degrees, even though the sun isn't shining. And when it does shine, we had 17. How's that even possible? I don't know, but this is what we have right now. Really, really nice weather to stay outside. even though the sun isn't shining, but it will be very, very soon. This type of weather will be with us for the next following days up until Thursday, more or less. So starting from Friday, we will have some decrease in temperatures finally up until 14/17 degrees, which is still great. Taking into consideration, we're heading towards the end of January month. Thank you for accompanying us on today's Benidorm and in general Valencian community news update. We hope you enjoyed watching this news with us. Click like, subscribe, and share our videos if you want them to reach even more people that love Spain, Valencian community, and Benidorm town. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow in a brand new video from Benidorm at night. See you then. Bye.